So maybe this movie just isn't as, bad as I remember, because welcome back to the James Ramblin' Reviews for yet another video, and in today's video I actually have a re-review of 2025's Sinners, directed by Ryan Coogler, because today I was like, last night I should say, after I came home from my shift at work, I was like, you know what, there isn't going to be loads and loads and loads of films coming out this weekend. There's not a lot of films I'm really interested in to go and see, because obviously my cinema closes down soon and gets rebranded, so I was like, there's something kind of different here. I could go back and watch again, give it another chance. Because if you don't know, I wasn't a big fan of Sinners. I was in the wrong mood and I was like, don't know if I like the movie. So I went back and watched it for £5 cheaper. It was like £5 or something like that on YouTube Movies. So went back and watched it, and I will give you my honest re-review. Like, do I think it's actually a little bit better than I thought it was and all of that. So that's what you need to know. But what you need to know is that this movie is directed by Ryan Coogler. You have actors in here like Michael B. Jordan, Haley Steinfeld and stuff like that, and the movie is about almost 2 hours and 20 minutes or something like that. And so what you've got here is you've got, Michael B. Jordan. He plays these two twins called Smoke and Stack. They're trying to, figure out how they're going to live life, and how what's going to happen in this town is something really horrible is going to happen in this town. Because when you're in this kind of time period that this movie's set in the 1930s, it wasn't the greatest for like the black people in America. They were struggling to get by, so they find ways to like sell beer and things like that and get by and do things to where they can feel happy, bring joy back into their lives. And there is all of that, which I will say is what I will say, and there will be a couple of spoilers in here because it's now been out for almost like half a year now, so there is all of that. And so what I will say is that I actually did start warming up to Sinners 2025. I actually think like it's not like a masterpiece or anything, in my opinion now, but it is a little bit better than I imagined it was before, because it does actually have this sense of style to it. Like, I actually appreciate the music a little bit better here, where as in the first time I watched it, it was just a bit weird to me. It was like, it was a bit loud and big and all of that when it was in the cinema, when I watched it in super screen. But when I watch it at home in my own comfort, it's like, yeah, I actually can get into this music. I can feel the vibes of this music, where you've got, the moments in this movie, for example here, where you've got the Irish guys singing, and then it's got the blues music where the boy is singing, the preacher boy is singing with his heart out and things like that, where I can just get really immersed into the singing in this movie, because there's something to it where there's a lot of power behind it, a lot of passion behind it. So could really get into that. And any time when the plot starts to unravel, and how it starts to be like, there's something strange going on, and there's vampires in this place, and when it has the dramatic doom 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 doom, the big dramatic music, you start to see that it's not overplayed. It is used in the right ways at the right time. So I did appreciate that. I didn't get that the first time when I watched this movie. And also, there are moments in this movie where, Ryan Coogler, the way he shot the film, right, it would be like the camera, right, the camera, for example, it would be like close up and then it would zoom back out and all of that. Like, that was cool how he used these certain things to be able to pull off certain ways to do things in this movie. Like, he really just did it as on a filmmaking standpoint, so that there's a lot of substance to the movie. It's not slop or trash or anything like I thought it was before, because it has meaning behind it. There's a core message and core values behind it. And what I didn't mention in my previous review, and this is what I picked up upon in this rewatch, is that this movie is not really a biased film at all. Like, it shows the struggles of the black people in society, as well as, the white guys, like, for example. And the reason why I say this is because they do treat the Irish guys, the Irish people, the Irish zombies and all of that, the Irish vampires, sorry, they treat them like the horrible and they do these horrible things and they want money off of the black people. But then you see what the black, when you see Michael Jordan's character turn into the vampire, and you see these characters going a bit weird, like, it shows you that both sides of the spectrum can have their, flaws to them, and you can show characters do horrible things with the system that it is, with racism in the 1930s. So there is a lot to unpack here, but that is how I felt about Sinners. It really opened my mind into the fact that, it's not really a horrible movie anymore. Like, I actually decided, this is actually now a bit of a better film. But it's not actually going. But because of that, because of what I've said here, it's not going to be like a top 10 movie of the year. But it might circle around. It might pop into an honourable mention in one of my videos for like the top movies of the year, because I do appreciate it. I appreciate the artistry of the film and how it's trying to do its best to, conduct a story, and it does actually go somewhere in the end. And the reason why I say that as well is because, if spoiler alert, right? Start of the movie, there's this guy, this horrible white guy that's to do with the KKK. You don't need to say what that is, but at the start of the movie you have all of that, and then it comes together at the end where, you have got Michael B. Jordan, and he fights these guys and he gets rid of them. And when you see like that, I didn't really notice this in the first time I watched the movie, but see when the guy is burning in the water and then like Michael B. Jordan is hugging the preacher boy and their eyes are like this, like that, and there's music playing, it actually got me feeling like I was actually kind of immersed in that. I was like, oh yeah, there's a payoff, oh yeah, something's actually happening, something is actually going on here where the storyline is finally coming to a close, everything comes together. And there is a post-credit scene in this movie where I was like, I was bummed out by it for some reason, but it is like a cool little epilogue, I won't lie to you. It's like a cool epilogue to send away the movie, to show, these characters, they're gonna do what they're gonna do, they're gonna have this one final singing, they have a singing, the guy, the preacher boy that was young turns old, and it's like the 1990s or something like that. Like, it goes about, it's quite a while after, like 50-60 years after the movie of what was happening, and it's quite cool how you get to see him sing again. And then there's a segment at the very last few minutes or last few seconds of the movie where you've got the preacher boy like singing and doing the guitar and all of that. And like, yeah, I really did open up to this movie, and I actually enjoyed this movie a little bit more than I thought I remembered. So yeah, when you go see a film at the cinema and you don't like it the first time, the thing I need to do a bit more often is probably watch it again so I can reframe a perspective. And it definitely is not actually the remake of From Dusk Till Dawn. Sure, it's a vampire movie with a twist within it, but it doesn't mean it's going to be exactly the same as that. That is a horrible argument I had in my original video. So hope you enjoyed this review, and stay tuned for more like this one. I'm going to give Sinners an 8 out of 10 now after this rewatch, so yeah, stay tuned for more like this one. I hope you enjoyed this review, and I hope you understand that I actually am an open-minded individual that can go back and refresh a memory on a film and give it a better chance and a better go around. So yeah, stay tuned for more reviews, and see you for another review on the James Ramblin' Reviews. Bye.